of Texas. Mr. Gingrey of Georgia.
Madam Speaker, I rise tonight with a heavy heart, saddened by the loss of not only a constituent, but also one of the most important figures in Georgia government and the modern history of our state, Thomas Bailey Murphy of Bremen, Georgia. Speaker Tom Murphy was called home to be with the Lord last night at 10 p.m. A native of Haralson County, Speaker Murphy was born on March 10, 1924, to Leta Jones and William Harvey Murphy. A graduate of Bremen High School and North Georgia College, a young Tom Murphy heard the call of his country and he enlisted in the Navy during World War II. He served in the Pacific Theater from 1943 to 1946. Upon his return home from World War II, Tom Murphy married the love of his life, Agnes Bennett, with whom he shared his life until her death in 1982. Soon after their marriage, Tom Murphy graduated from the University of Georgia School of Law. And then, Madam Speaker, in 1960, he followed in his brother's footsteps, winning election to the Georgia House of Representatives. In his first 7 terms in the legislature, he had the opportunity to serve as the governor's floor leader and as Speaker pro tem until being elected as Speaker of the House in 1973. As Speaker of the Georgia House from 1974 to 2002, he served not only with distinction, but also as the longest-serving State House Speaker throughout this entire country. While Speaker Murphy never forgot his rural roots or his constituency, he also recognized the importance of strengthening our entire state and fostering growth and economic opportunity in the capital city of Atlanta. Tenure, Speaker Murphy fought for funding and sponsored the construction of the Georgia World Congress Center, as well as the Georgia Dome, the largest cable-supported dome stadium in the entire world. Speaker Murphy also pushed for improved and increased funding for urban transit and suburban roads and freeways. He had the foresight to realize the need to invest not only in destination infrastructure, but also in the roads, the buses, and trains to get people there. While Speaker Murphy was a great advocate of his state and of all Georgians, to say he was partisan would be an understatement, Madam Speaker. He believed firmly in the principles of the old guard Georgia Democratic Party, and he was vehemently loyal to those principles, his party, his members, even to his own personal and political detriment. In 2000, after over 40 years of service to his district, Speaker Murphy won a narrow margin of about 500 votes in a Republican trending West Georgia district. And yet, later that year, during the decennial redistricting process, Speaker Murphy refused to make his district more democratic and thus safer, refusing to risk the majority of his fellow party members that served in contiguous districts and counties. So in the following election, Madam Speaker, he narrowly lost his seat, but he did so with his conscience intact because he remained loyal to his principles to the end. During my time in the Georgia Senate, I had many opportunities to see Speaker Murphy in action. Though I certainly did not always agree with him, I always respected him, recognizing that above all, he exemplified the scriptural exhortation to let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. Though his final years were made very difficult by an incapacitating stroke, I know that in his heart and in his mind, he knew that he had served his state and the people of Georgia to the best of his ability. And indeed, he served them and us with distinction. Well, I know that his son Michael, daughters Martha, Marjorie, Mary Jane, and all of the grandchildren will miss him dearly. They know that he longed for that reunion with his beloved Agnes. And I have no doubt that when he took his last breath and he left this world, he was greeted with the words, "Thy race is run. Welcome home, my good and faithful servant." Madam Speaker, I yield back.